Here in MeMsie Africa, we usually touch on African literature. As you know, we do doodle summaries, we do analysis, but from time to time, things happen in our contemporary modern social media age that we just need to comment on. We just need to take a break between the scenes and be like, we have a couple of thoughts on that. So, in this episode, in between the scenes, thoughts, quick thoughts with MeMsie Africa, we just be commenting on this rather trending story about this guy from Equatorial Guinea called Baltasar.
Born and raised in Equatorial Guinea, 54-year-old Baltasar Ebang Engonga is from a wealthy family. The married father of six is the son of Baltasar Engonga Ejo, the current president of the Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa, CEMAC.
Who has achieved international acclaim and international fame for having more than 400 sex tapes in circulation. One thing I have always wondered about sex tapes is why do you even take them in the first place? Especially if you're promiscuous and you know that you cannot hold it together when it comes to women and you have like a high ranking. Because I feel sex tapes are for people who have nothing to lose. Because, if a sex tape leaks, it's only uphill from there. I mean, it might be negative, it might be on the dirty context, on the dirtier side of the context, but at least you're now known, right? You're no longer a nobody. You can only go up, right? But if you're the higher up, especially if you're like a political figure, if a sex tape leaks of you doing things, especially doing things with someone who's not your wife, it's only downhill from there. I mean, when I read the story, when I first encountered the story and I actually acknowledged what was happening, when you're on the higher up of certain things, there's obviously someone who's going to find that hole and going to use it against you. So taking evidence of something that can be used against you, that's just an amateur move. The first time I saw this story, I was like, maybe they are pinning this horrible story on him, trying to find dirt, because I heard that the guy is already under investigation for corruption. When I heard, I was like, nah, it can't be him. But when you go and you search out the videos, yes, I actually did search them. And don't judge me. I know you searched them as well. And that's definitely him. I mean, he has like extended periods where he's like actually looking at the camera.
Now, what even made it more unbelievable, more scandalous, was that before he begins this act, he would set his camera to the full glare of the lady waiting for him, unclad. He would set his camera and record the whole event.
It was irresponsible for him to put himself out like that, put himself in such a risky place like that, because if there's one argument people are using these days against powerful men, it's the weapon of sex, the weapon of this guy did things to me without my consent. And when you have this kind of reputation now, I mean, it only takes just one lie. It doesn't even have to be the truth. It just has just one lie, just one girl gets paid off to say he did this without my consent. And who the hell are you to say, no, she's lying, when we have like 400 other videos? Of course, it's consensual, of course. But the evidence, they only need the evidence they really require is the evidence that you cannot control your sexual urges to the point that you get to sleep with your own cousin.
Before we get there, is this man normal? Is he mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually sound? Is this a congenital malfunction? Or is it just a spiritual attack? No control, no boundaries, no limits. His own cousin, another man's pregnant wife. Alu. Arukar.
Man, this guy is screwed. Damn. When you are a powerful person and you reach certain levels of success, certain echelons of success, there will always be people who want to bring you down. And the one thing you must do is make it as difficult for them as possible. And I have to say, going around and having sex with more than 300 broads is definitely not really something that came on my mind. Because, I mean, if it falls into the wrong hands, let's say like a hater, that hater essentially owns you now. Because they can blackmail you. We all know what happens in those higher ups. There's a lot of blackmailing, a lot of backstabbing, betrayals, treason, all those kind of things that happen. That's where you hear things like, he just dropped out of the election from Norway. So if you want to be safe in that kind of position, in that kind of place, you have to try to make yourself as immune as possible to not be brought down. Because rest assured, if you're making money as he was, you are going to have haters. You are going to have people who want to bring you down. So when you go around screwing every broad you see, every dress you see, you're making it easy for your haters to come and penetrate and collapse your castle. And that's pretty much what they did here. I mean, they are just, the social media has run away with it. People are like having a few days with this guy. And there are people who are like, he's been using juju. He's been using witchcraft to sleep with all those women. I'm like, we all know what happens if you happen to be powerful, wealthy.
You see how women act. They'd rather chase a fraction of a real G's time than have 100% of the time of a dude who they don't respect at that level.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do this kind of things if you're someone who's just down and boring, right? So if you have that kind of combination, you can pretty much do anything. And I wasn't really surprised. So what may this mean for his career? I think it's pretty much written in the stars. His career is pretty much over at this point. I mean, the guy was already under investigation for corruption. So if he was already under investigation for corruption, he is likely gonna go down for this because they found their smoking gun. This is actually not really a smoking gun. It's more like a bazooka. A grenade. Like a real atomic bomb to his career. So they pretty much, yeah, this is mission accomplished when it comes to their haters. Their haters are probably like drinking like the finest whiskey they had stored for like 10 years ago. Like, yeah, we finally got him now. The moral of the story basically is don't make certain mistakes. Because there's just no avoiding this. Like I said, some diseases, like, they're just best avoided. They cannot be cured. They can only be befriended. Whereas once you cross a certain line, like for example, incriminating yourself like that, we're doing crazy things that are going to bring shame to you and your family. I think this is one thing social media has changed that makes it different from the past, because the accessibility of evidence.
However, online media outlets such as blogs have developed in recent years, providing news that partly escapes government control, which could be the reason why Baltasar's sex scandal got out and went viral out of their control.
Like, you can be nailed by text, video, image, at like any point. Someone can just like pull out their phone and that's it. When you're doing something, whether you're stealing wires, you're kissing someone's wife, you're stealing some jelly beans at a shop. Anyone has a phone, they can just pull out from their back pocket and just silently clip on you.
I mean, it's not like in the past. For example, with Martin Luther King did some stuff on the side. For those people who really know their history, people who really read their books, Martin Luther King was a prolific womanizer. But fortunately for him, there was no way to record it. There were no phones to record him. Because if he did this stuff in the social media age, I think it would have been just a matter of time before someone just kind of ran into him doing his stuff, doing his thing. And that would have damaged his reputation, of course, and, compromised the civil rights movement. But then again, so long the good days, those good days are gone now.
We like produced this video evidence. I mean, I would have felt a little sorry for the guy, but the fact that the guy actually took the footage himself, I'm like, come on, bro. What the hell do you think was going to happen? If you want to be a real player, aside of course not actually doing anything wrong, never ever put yourself on record, because once you're on record, there's nothing you can do. You can no longer control your own story or narrative. It's like the same case with this guy. If these videos were not around, it could have just ended as a rumor, like, no, you're just trying to pin this guy, you're just trying to bring another successful black man on the ground like you always have done. But then you go to Telegram and whatever the website will access, porn website that you go now, and you see this guy staring directly at the camera, and you don't even need that much of like complicated DNA diagnostics or forensic evidence or forensic or a sharp eye to actually tell that, yeah, that's definitely him. Yeah. God, don't you hate social media age sometimes? I'm sure Baltasar hates it too. But then again, it's not really our fault. You're the one who taped. So next time when you do some stupid stuff like this, the best thing, don't press that recording button, because this is what happens.